Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Sheldon. I just wanted to do a quick video to first just do a quick introduction as well as to show you some of the digital resources that you and your child can use. I've been at Mulligan now for about 9 years if you don't know me, but I know that many of you have seen me before or I've actually been your teacher before, so I'm glad to be back and I really hope that you've had a safe, a healthy, and hopefully enjoyable summer. I've really missed everybody, and I'm really looking forward to seeing all of your faces on Monday. So I'm going to show you a few things, and if you have any questions, you can absolutely reach out to me, and I will try my best to help you out. So one of the really great resources that we've now been using for quite a long time at Mullica is Google Classroom. And with Google Classroom, it really helps to keep everything organized in one place. So your child may have something that looks similar to this, but if they don't, I'm hoping that they are at least going to see our virtual class for this year. So when they click on that, it may look a little bit different than mine, but it should come up first with the stream. And the stream is usually where you'll see a lot of the assignments and announcements, but I will say I try to limit how much is on here. Instead, I recommend you go to classwork for any assignments that you need to see. And pretty soon, as you can see, once all of the students are on here, I will be organizing everything, trying to keep it all together week by week. And then I will only have assignments for your child show up. So once all the kids are in this class, you'll see that all of them will be listed for only your child. The stream, on the other hand, is nice because it does have our class code and it also has one of the Google Meet links that we will be using, mostly for when we're all together as a group. In terms of the grades, you can obviously have your child open up any assignment through here on their Chromebook. So as you go through the schedule, which I'll show you shortly, you could simply just have them open up their Chromebook and ask them, hey, I want to see what you did for reading today. Let's open that up. A lot of times the grades will also be shown here. And again, although parent access is limited, you can also run a report so that you can see it as well. And I'm trying my best to post as many resources as I can for you to see how to do that. And I'll show you that in a moment too. So Google Classroom, again, you'll also probably have all of the special areas class codes. They should have been given to you when you came to pick up the Chromebook for your child this past week. It should have been all included with what you picked up. Now, in terms of the schedules, I heard that if you open up the PDF, you might not have been able to see the whole schedule. So for sixth, 7th, and 8th graders, you will see that if you open up the Google slide instead, it is a nicer way to look at all of this so that you can see everything. So I know some people ask me about the afternoon, and I'll get to that in a moment. But the most important thing first is that I'm going to be uploading these as well to Google Classroom so that your child can follow along every day. And they have their own individual Google Classroom board that I am going to post for them, just like I sent to you. So you'll see that all of the assignments or the meets have their own links. So there'll be a Google Meet first thing tomorrow morning at 8:30. That's where we're going to do our morning meeting. Then we'll have icebreaker activities with Mrs. Nolan's class. So that's another Google Meet assignment. Then we have a brain break, and I highly recommend that during the brain break, they turn off their mics and their cameras and take a brain break, whether it's to go to the bathroom, get some snacks, whatever we need to do, if you need to move around or whatever. Then we have another Google Meet. And again, this week I focused on Google Meets just to get everybody comfortable with them. But we may not do as much of that as we get further on into the trimester. So it's more of just getting used to the routine and structure of the schedule, seeing that they're there, seeing that the students are all together in one place. So we are going to be focusing on the trait of the month, which is respect. There'll be a read aloud and then either a short mini activity or discussion. And then the only one that does not have a Google Meet link, unless you're meeting with me or Mrs. Sini, Mrs. Rieger, or Mrs. Auger, is a getting to know you slide activity. And if you click on that, and again, these are all clickable links, it'll actually open up to a Google slide, and I listed which slides they should be focusing on per day. What's nice about this is it also includes a video first for them to watch to give them an idea of the theme or the overall message that they're trying to tell about themselves. So for the first one tomorrow, we'll be doing one about something that's weird or unusual about everybody. As you can see, for me, I don't know if it's weird or unusual, but I'm really a big fan of Marvel comics and Star Wars, and I'm very much into all of that. So many of the students know that about me already. Then as we continue on, we'll do a short Google Meet to close out the day. We'll share our slides, give everybody, at least one chance for the week to do that. We're still waiting though for Wednesday. There will be a short Wellness Wednesday activity that we'll be doing that is going to be provided by Mrs. Lynn. So that's why there isn't a link here yet, but I will update this as soon as I can with that link. And then we have a lunch and brain break from 12:30 to 1:45. So what's nice about this is that they get a good amount of time to eat, relax, or they could, go outside for recess and those types of things. Now, for your specials, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade specials, they are directly after lunch. So you'll have either, you should have health and gym with one of the 3 teachers twice, and then you'll either have Spanish and financial literacy, or you'll have art and music. And again, those classroom codes should have been given to you when you came to pick up your Chromebook. And at the end of the day, we have office hours. Now, this is for, let's say, if you have any work to finish, they could be working on that. But also, too, a lot of times this is also for us to check in. So you might see check in with Mrs. Sheldon or check in with Mrs. Sini. Sometimes it's going to be just a short check-in, like a 10 to 15 minute check-in just to say hi, see how you're doing. Sometimes it'll be small group to give some instruction and assist with some assignments and work that we're doing. These also might be times when related services can meet as well. So it's important that if Mrs. Becker or any of the related services therapists get in touch with you to find out for sure. But you can see that that's 2:15 to 3:20. Now, if you're in 5th grade, it's a little bit different. For 5th grade, it's actually broken up a little bit more. So from 1:45 to 2:15 will be those office hours. And again, you may be meeting with me at one point this week, or Mrs. Sini, Mrs. Auger, or Mrs. Rieger. And then you'll have your specials, and then another open time for 30 minutes. So it's important to make sure that you're really looking at these times for when that's happening. Also, with your schedule, you'll also see that I did include some information about your board, making sure to look at the top for the day of the week and then on the side for the times. Remember that these Google Meets, it's a time for you to meet with the class. For the most part, you'll see the only ones that are in red is when you're going to be meeting either in small group or individually with one of us. And you'll have at least one Google Meet during one of the office times this week. And it may not always be every week, but it's to get you familiar with the schedule and to make sure that you're following along this week and getting comfortable with how the schedule works. And again, remember, Google Classroom is extremely important to use. I'm still going to be posting everything on there as well so that it's available to you, and that way you're able to keep up with every day this week, and you don't have to go looking through emails. Besides that, remember that you can also log in to Remind. One thing that is really great about Remind is that you're able to communicate with me, and it's like a text message. So I'm able to reach out to you, or you can reach out to me. And if you have the app, it shows up actually like a text message on your phone. I will try to use this also for any important announcements. Probably first thing tomorrow morning, if you do sign up, I will actually, send out a 15-minute warning to let everybody know to join in. And then we have my Google site. So I created this specifically to provide a lot of links and support for you and your child. When you first log in, you'll see this welcome to our classroom. It'll have a link for you to email me or to schedule a meeting. You'll see a class calendar, the daily schedule, office hours, if, once we start getting further into the school year and you want to request that. And then there's some class pages. But I created also a parent portal and a student portal. And the parent portal is a really great resource for you. So you'll first see the same types of little buttons up here. I've linked a lot of different sources for you that are really easy to use. And then there's further links down here that will open up a lot more. Besides our classroom schedule, there's a guide to Google Classroom that provides a lot of resources to get you started. There's also, and again, this is a work in progress, so some of these may not have links. Like right now, I haven't done the grading policy or class syllabus yet, but I did include online learning expectations. So if you click that, it'll open up a doc and will give you an idea of some of the expectations for distance learning. For this especially, it's really great because it goes along with our coyote calling. So, if this is something that you want to go over with your child, it's also something that we're doing every day in morning meeting, is going over at least 2 expectations a day and making sure that we practice that. It also has some information about me, along with Mrs. Sini and Mrs. Rieger and Mrs. Auger, who are working with us. I also included some links to tutorials and videos to help you, as well as helpful websites. And I'm going to continue to add on to these, but if you click even the tutorials and videos, this is a nice Google Sheet to help you get started first. It provides a lot of guidance of many different tutorials for your Chromebook, for Google Drive, for Google Slides, Google Classroom, at Google Meets even. So there's a lot for Google apps. And then there's also other apps here too, which we may be using some of these. I especially like Flipgrid, and I really like Flocabulary and Edpuzzle the most. I feel like they're really great in interactive ways to help students when they're in distance learning. And then there's also helpful websites that is really nice to provide additional Google Docs and links and tutorials and PDFs for you. So you'll see once this actually loads, sorry, it's taking a bit, but I did include some accessibility features for your Chromebook, especially when they're working from home, things like voice typing, text to speech. Those types of accessibility features are really, really helpful. So I included some of these in here for you too. And then I'll also try my best to post some student work examples. I'll have a post of the trait of the month, which, like I said, is respect for this month, and a Google calendar that I'll keep updating. But for right now, like I said, Wellness Wednesdays is when you'll enjoy your afternoon. So after 12:45, the students are able to enjoy the rest of their afternoon. And I will get hopefully more details about back to school night as well soon. On the student portal, I haven't put as much yet, But as we get further, I will be adding more to this. But I did include some of the schedules and things like that, and then I'll start to add some things about their subjects. And then also the classroom rules for us being virtual, which again, we're going to be going over those as well. And then there are some class pages that I've also already included. So the math program, which is one that we may be using sometimes, Savis Realize is brand new this year. We also, again, have our Google Classroom page. We also will be using Epic Books, Reading A to Z, and then I also have a virtual calming room. So sometimes if we're feeling stressed out or anything like that, they can come here, and there's a lot of great links for different ways that they could if they're feeling really stressed out or a little frustrated, they can always come here and use any of these links. And there's a lot of, as you can see, it's popping up, but there's a lot of great ones that they could use. And it's easy. You just click on something. Maybe you want to think about positivity, and it sets up a YouTube video. And it's through Safe YouTube, which is great. So it makes sure that it's using safe links. And this is actually Kid President's Pep Talk to teachers and students, which I surely do love. So I hope that that has helped you, give you a little bit of an overview of some things to use online. And I will continue to try my best to, number one, update this portal page, as well as assist however I can so that you and your child feel comfortable. I'm really excited to see the class tomorrow. I really appreciate your patience, and I hope to have a really great first week. Have a good one. Bye-bye.